7 women wouldn't just automatically turn on somebody.
Yeah.
This isn't like, we're not like a group of women that hate each other. I feel like the point of MomTok is to support each other and love one another. So if there's a shift towards one woman, there's a reason why.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of MPT live from New York City. This is weird, right? What a whirlwind week that it has been. This kind of happened last second. I don't know if you guys saw, but I was able to go to an event with Jesse Solomon and Heather McMahon, and I was able to interview them. So that was really fun. This week has taught me to shoot your shot. No matter what the circumstances are, shoot your shot. So David and I got invited to the event last night, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask if I can interview them. So a couple days before we go, I was like, hey, can I interview? Can I bring a camera? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So then here we are, and I had Layla Taylor on the docket. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 2 is officially out. We can't wait. We're obsessed. And I was meant to do this interview with her virtually. Well, I was sitting in my room in New York City, and I saw her on, I think it's like New York 5 or something. Don't come for me. I'm not from New York. I don't know the official, channels and whatever. But I saw her on TV, and I'm like, I'm in New York. She's in New York. We're doing this thing in person. So I'm emailing away. I'm shooting my shot. I'm like, hey, any chance you want to do this interview in person? And they said yes. Now, I almost put myself into a mental facility trying to find a podcast studio to do it, because we were going to try to do it in our hotel lobby. Horrible idea. We're going to try to do it in our hotel room. I don't know if you've ever been to a hotel in New York, but you can't even sneeze in there without feeling like, you're in somebody else's space. So thankfully, my husband, David, this is why it's so important to marry the right person, because my husband, David, checked every single box that I needed to check. He did the studio. He got the mic set up. He did everything. He's wonderful. And I would not be here in this seat right now without him. He's recording me right now, looking cute as can be, but super excited. So welcome our guest from the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Layla Taylor. Thank you for being on MPT.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, season 2. It's here.
Crazy.
How are you feeling?
I'm all the feelings. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. But honestly, I feel like the most feeling I feel right now is just excitement. I feel like so many girls have kind of stepped more into themselves as people, and they're more open on camera now. And I just feel like it's going to be a freaking good season.
I have seen on social media some of your castmates say that they're scared.
Yeah.
What is there to be scared about?
I think just the public's perception for sure. I feel like when you're living in those moments, you're not really thinking. I feel like some of us forget about the cameras, honestly. And we do things, we say things, and it's fine in the moment. And then you're like, oh, the whole entire world has to see that too. So I think it's just the anxiousness that people are going to be commenting on things that we go through for sure. But I think at the end of the day, we're just humans, and we mess up and we make mistakes and we say silly things. And I think if you can kind of understand that and separate the two, then it should be okay. I mean, I can't really speak because I don't have a lot of things that I air out that are too scary to be nervous about, but yeah.
I think people would rather you guys be real and honest than, hide stuff and shield stuff away. And if anybody else had their life filmed and then aired for the world to see, not everything would go perfect for them either. So it's easy for people to have those type of reactions. But at the same time, your show is such a huge success. I mean, what has that been like in one season in? That's got to be crazy.
No, it's been absolutely crazy. I feel like all of us girls are just we're moms. We're just moms. We're from Utah. This world is so crazy, and I just don't think any of us thought it would blow up to this level. And I just feel like we always just pinch ourselves all the time. We always have this joke in our group that we said that we felt like we were filming a home movie and no one was ever going to see it. And now we're oh, our home movie's #1 and it's doing really good, and we're already back for season 2. So it's just so surreal, and I don't think any of us will ever get used to it, but it's just been the most amazing experience, and we're all so grateful.
Did you notice any differences in filming season 1 to season 2? Were you guys more relaxed?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's so many girls now that speak up in situations that they normally wouldn't before, and just more confrontational, and I love it. I feel like everyone's getting really feisty. We also have a lot of pregnant women right now, so I'm the hormones are through the roof, and it's definitely interesting, but it's fun.
In season 1, we saw you navigating single life, single mom, post-divorce. How is your love life these days?
I am dating someone in season 2 of the show, so I'm excited to like kind of have you guys see that as an audience and show how dating as a single mother is. It's definitely very challenging because I'm very picky, because whoever I end up with is obviously someone that's going to be like in my boy's life too, and they will only have the best in their life. So it's definitely hard because I have to weed out all of the shitty guys, and there's a lot of them. But I'm also excited to kind of share that aspect and kind of show what it's like to date in Utah too, especially Utah is such a fever dream when it comes to like dating and that culture for sure. So I feel like it's something that like I laugh about, and I'm like excited to have you guys see that.
Do you only date Mormon men?
No, I feel like I'm not opposed to like anything. It's just so common that everyone there is Mormon, or at least like has some type of like Mormon upbringing. That's not like a thing that like has to be on like my checklist. All of my exes have been, but honestly, like if I met someone tomorrow and they were like Catholic, I wouldn't care.
How's the DMs?
I mean, I feel like now that the show's getting bigger and bigger, I feel like I've definitely started to notice more like bigger names in the DMs for sure, which is so fun.
Blue
so
check
exciting.
marks?
Yeah, a couple blue check marks. I'm not mad about it.
Now, I do have to say, I was trolling the Instagram comment section today, and I did see that Jesse commented something today and said, well, that didn't last long, referring to you. So are we allowed to know about that, or do we have to wait and watch?
No, me and him aren't together anymore. Didn't work out. Definitely some interesting things that I kind of like put 2 and 2 together of after the relationship, but he already has a new girlfriend. We broke up less than 2 months ago and already is dating someone new. So very telling, but wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully this relationship works out for him.
Now, did he film with you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you get kind of those vibes that maybe...
I feel like I know what you're putting your finger on, and initially no, because he was just very like, oh, like I just want to be there to support you, like this is your thing, and like I don't want any part of this, but like I'll be there for you. But love the camera.
Oh yeah, I feel like they always say that,
the camera. So I don't think he's gonna mind his airtime, to be completely honest. And it's definitely something that like now I'm aware of moving forward. And honestly, if I ever do bring someone else onto this experience again, it's something that I will be very mindful of. And cautious, because I feel like I don't want to feel used. And it kind of sucks that I have that taste in my mouth, because I feel like I'm a very genuine person. I try to like lead with good intentions. So feeling like I kind of got taken advantage of sucks.
And it has to be just a new experience for you too, because you know, it's your second season. So it's not like for 10 years you have had to have that gut check of, is this person genuine?
No,
but
absolutely. Now it's something I have to look out for a lot. In friendships, relationships, everything, I feel like you always have to kind of like look at why are they reaching out, and kind of pay attention to the questions they're asking and things like that. I feel like it's very easy to weed them out though, luckily. But yeah, it kind of sucks that you do have to like make sure people aren't just taking advantage of me in this platform that I have.
Yeah. Well, Taylor said something kind of similar on an Instagram story recently, asking if everyone in MomTok was still super close. And she said, you know, fame and greed has kind of changed some things. I mean, do you know who she's referring to?
I do. And I think that will be revealed in future times. One of the girls I feel like I can say, because I feel like that it does come out in season 2, is Whitney for sure. I definitely think it was interesting that kind of like the come and go when it's beneficial, and then the lack of building better relationships definitely gives like intentions that she's just kind of there to get what she needs and not kind of be genuine. I feel like that's kind of hard, especially because a lot of us girls in MomTok are very close. And I know that's kind of like a cheesy thing to say, but genuinely, like, we're all best friends, and outside of this experience we do hang out and we are there for each other. So when there's friendships that are definitely kind of there just transactionally, it's hard to kind of manage that.
Whitney was very much so on the outs in season 1. So did you automatically have that reaction when she started coming back around? Did you think that it was specifically because of the show?
Oh, for sure. And I mean, it's hard because like rightfully so, I understand like needing to like step away, but I think it's just like the coming and going that's really hard for us girls, because there's some of us like me, Jesse, Michaela, Macy, Taylor, that all kind of like been riding this out and going through the ups and downs. So just kind of like come and go when you please is hard, especially when all of us are starting to build like such genuine real friendships. But I think throughout the season 2, Whitney and I started to get a better relationship again, and I kind of started to put my guards down around her, and I feel like I let her back in. I feel like she did a good job of like proving herself to me, at least. I can't speak for the other girls and how they feel about her, obviously, but for me personally, I feel like me and Whitney ended off season 2 in like a pretty good place.
Now, I noticed in that list of mom talkers, you did not mention Demi.
Oh,
How is that relationship?
I feel like, yes, in the future, you'll see more things unfold there. Right now, I wouldn't say that me and Demi have a friendship, unfortunately. It's definitely a bummer because I feel like me, Demi, and Jesse were all like pretty close. I would say Demi was one of my best friends on the show for sure. So to have that friendship not there anymore is definitely very hard. But some of the things that you will see in season 2 and then some of the things in the future are just things that I personally can't stand behind. And it's really hard because I feel like Demi's a good person. I just think that she's just doing some things that right now that I'm like, if you're willing to do that to someone that you're really close to, what makes me think that you're not going to do it to me? And just things she said to me personally as well, kind of coming at my character and who I am as a person when I feel like I am a good person and I know myself to my core. So accusing me of things and saying mean things to me, I just feel like at the end of the day, I only want to surround myself with positive people and people that uplift me and make me feel good about myself. So I think at this point in my life, it's just, I don't have a space for that friendship.
Do you feel like there's any hope in the future, or are you just kind of taking a beat for the moment?
The times that we have communicated recently, I've always just ended really negatively. So it's like I'm not going into those conversations being like, oh, like I don't even want to talk to her. Like I'm mad at her. Like I go into them with an open mind and kind of want to hear her out and see if she can take accountability for her behalf. But then it always just ends very negatively and I leave the conversation just like upset. So I don't know. I think if she can truly come in future times and truly like own up to things and just kind of say sorry, and like I can say sorry in places too. I'm not saying that like this is all to me. There's definitely some places that like I have lacked as well, but I think when it comes down to it, it's just the lack of accountability on her end that's kind of hard to sit through.
Did any of this tension between the two of you start when you guys went to Vanderpump Villa?
Yes and no. I think that some things happened in the villa that were a little questionable on her end. Just things that I personally wouldn't partake of being a married woman. But I don't think our tension started there. I think that there was just little things that started to happen that like all of us girls started to like pick up on. And I think that there's some things that the audience could maybe pick up on from season 1. And I think that one thing in this group that we've always done is she's very passionate. She's very passionate, but I think that we excuse honestly borderline bullying for passionate. And I feel like in that situation, Whitney and her in the closet, she's funny. So like her approach to being more hostile, she throws a joke in here and there. So you're like, oh, like that wasn't mean. But then like looking back, and I watched season 1 back just so I could kind of like prepare for season 2. And I'm like, no, I think that was actually kind of inappropriate. But the way that she did it was funny. So we kind of let it pass. Yeah. And at that point, we all kind of had feelings toward Whitney as well. So it's just kind of like, oh, like we feel the same. So like it's fine.
Yeah.
So I think that the audience will maybe be able to start to pick up on things that like there was clues in the past that we kind of all kind of brushed under the rug, and hopefully they can kind of understand where all of us girls are coming from. Because I think when it comes down to it, 7 women wouldn't just automatically turn on somebody. Yeah. This isn't like, we're not like a group of women that hate each other. I feel like the point of MomTok is to support each other and love one another. So if there's a shift towards one woman, there's a reason why.
Can you set the record straight on what happened at Vanderpump Villa? Everyone's confused. Yeah. It's like there's a narrative that it was Demi and Marciano. There's like Jesse being talked about in that mix. Like, what happened?
I don't know what all I can say. From what I could see, there is definitely on Demi's end with Marciano, there's definitely just a lot of friendliness and overly friendliness, I think, in my opinion. Personally, and I think some of the other girls called her out for that when we were in the villa, and it was kind of deflected back and kind of twisted, and she twisted the narrative like, oh well, why are you coming at me right now? So I just think it's very telling a reaction when you get questions like that. But yeah, I'm not sure all I can say. I know that there's some legal things on her end as well, so definitely interesting. Yeah. So don't know what all I can say. Don't really want to get a cease and desist in my mail.
I feel it. I don't either. So moving on. Jen and Zach, how do you feel about their relationship? I mean, we saw some wild times in season 1. Now she's pregnant. I mean, what's your take?
I think that relationship's so hard and it's so complex. And I think at the end of the day, the way he reacted in Vegas was completely inappropriate. And she told us that wasn't the first time that he has reacted to her like that. So I think our reactions of being very weary of that relationship were completely valid. I think we were just genuinely scared for our friend that she was being mistreated. And we all just genuinely want the best for each other. So to see that behavior was kind of alarming. But since then, they've been working on a lot of things. I still see things here and there that I'm like, okay, that's a little questionable. But I think at the end of the day, if they genuinely want to work on it, and if they want to put their family first and they are truly all in, then at the end of the day, this isn't my relationship. I'm not married to the man. May not be his biggest fan, and I wouldn't like say I have loved his past behavior. But again, like at the end of the day, I'm not the one going to bed with him. I'm not the one that's having children with him. So if she's happy, then I'm happy for her.
Did you see a difference in him from season 1 to season 2?
He's been a lot more open with us girls. Like I feel like he's more conversationalist with us now. And I just feel like he's a little bit more open. Jen does seem happier too as well. I feel like she was very, very sad season 1, and season 2 she had her struggles as well that I feel like the audience is going to resonate with. So I feel like I'm starting to kind of see Jen's light come back a little bit, and I hope that just keeps coming back. Yeah.
One of the most shocking moments as a viewer when we got that trailer was seeing Miranda McWhorter walk in on camera.
Love Miranda.
Like, what? How did that happen?
Yeah.
How did she agree?
Yeah.
Was she supposed to be on season 1? Was she asked to be on season 1?
So she was, yeah. And I think at that point, she was going through her divorce with her ex-husband, Chase. And she was kind of like going through a lot then. And at that point, when she was first approached for the show, she was still in it with Chase. So I think at that point, she was trying to protect that marriage, protect that peace. And I totally understand that. I think you can't rush this experience because it's so polarizing and you're sharing so much of your life. And if it's not the right timing, you're not going to have a good experience and you're going to kind of start to resent this life. So I think I respect her decision for not wanting to come on previously. I do understand where the girls are coming from. And I did kind of feel likewise that like, I was like, okay, it's kind of clout chasey that you're coming in second season once we've kind of like built everything and like we established this. Now you want to come in. So definitely we had our hesitations at first, but I think that she was very patient with us and kind of there would be small digs made at her and stuff like that. And she kind of just write it out and she did a really good job. So I'm really proud of her. And I'm really close with Miranda. I would say that she's one of my closest girls in this friend group to me. And I'm really grateful for our friendship, especially both being single moms. I feel like we can relate to each other a lot and we kind of share the same like challenges that we go through daily. So I'm really grateful that she's on the show, honestly. And I'm glad that she kind of stuck it out.
Were you able to see Taylor and Miranda kind of work through their differences and what is their friendship like now?
I think they've worked through a lot. I don't think that they're ever going to be the level of close that they were before. I think that there's hesitations on both ends. I feel like Miranda's scared to get burned by her again, which I understand. It's definitely being friends with Tay is kind of polarizing because she has such a strong following behind her. So if like you do her wrong,
you do a lot of people
her
wrong.
Followers are going to hate you. And I feel like a couple of the girls have been under fire by her followers before. And I think the same thing on Taylor's end. I think that maybe she has her walls up and she's afraid to get hurt. So I don't necessarily think that they're ever going to be like as close as they were, but I have seen like their friendship start to kind of like come back again, which I feel like it's good. I feel like our group already has so many friendship dynamics that are broken and there's people that hate each other. So any girls that can be close and make this experience just better, I feel like it's good.
How is Taylor and Dakota's relationship, in your opinion?
God, I feel like that one.
We don't have enough time today.
I'm exhausted. I don't even know. I feel like every day it's different. I'll ask her, I'm like, where are you guys at? And she goes, we're great. And then the next day we hate each other. And the next day we're posting videos about each other. So it's very back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I don't know, honestly. I just want them both to be happy. I feel like genuinely Dakota has made a lot of mistakes in life and no one's excusing them, but so has Taylor. And I think at the end of the day, two people really want each other and they really want to make it work, then they can. So I think they really just need to make that decision if they're in or they're out. And I think it's going to be better for everyone. It's going to be better for their babies. It's going to be better for everyone involved. So I just hope that soon that an actual decision's made and we're a little bit less in the back and forth, because right now it's just kind of like a really toxic cycle.
Yeah. And it has to be hard, you know, being her friend too, because you're on the receiving end of the venting sessions. And then I'm sure, I mean, I feel like every woman has been in a relationship like that where you come to your friends, you tell them all the bad things that's happening, and then you get back together and you don't really want to tell your friends because you know that they have your best interest at heart. So how has that been for you? Are you able to be, you know, a support system even though there's so much back and forth?
It's hard for me. And I feel like me and Macy are pretty similar, that like we've both been in very toxic relationships before, that like I just want to like shake her sometimes. I'm like, Taylor,
you don't
hear this, you see this, why are we still even talking to this man? But then it's also like they share a baby together. They're kind of like trauma bonded in a way. So then I also understand the back and forth. I was back and forth with my ex-husband for so long, so I get it and I understand it, and no one can force her to make a decision. That's the thing. At the end of the day, we can give her all the advice we want to, but if Taylor wants to be in, then she's going to be in. If Taylor wants to be out, then she's going to be out. So I think at the end of the day, just loving her and being there for her is all that she needs, and kind of just giving her grace and hoping that eventually she figures it out.
I do want to talk a little bit more about your past relationship with your ex-husband. How old were you when you got married?
19. And
then you converted to Mormonism when you were
16.
Okay. Looking back, do you feel like you got married because you were supposed to, or did you really?
I think because we got pregnant out of wedlock, and I felt like we already made like a mistake, so I felt like almost us getting married was going to undo that mistake and kind of make it better in that situation. Looking back, I feel like we should have just stayed engaged, maybe just stayed dating, but I feel like I wanted to give our family like a fair shot of us being together. I come from a divorced family as well, so that was the opposite of what I wanted for my future. I did not want that for my babies, and when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, hey, we have to do this the right way now, since we already like messed up, quote unquote. And it obviously didn't work out for the best, but I have 2 beautiful children out of it, and our co-parenting relationship's not great on his end, unfortunately. And I just hope with more and more time there's less animosity on his end, and we're kind of able to just forge a better relationship for the boys, because I feel like ultimately that's what it comes down to. My parents were very toxic with their co-parenting as well, so it was like a toxic marriage, and then they got divorced and it was toxic co-parenting, and that's what affected me. I didn't care that my parents weren't together. I cared that they couldn't coexist for me and my sister.
Right.
So I really hope with time we're able to get to that point that it's not like tension when we come to like my son's graduation and things like that. I just feel like, feelings aside, we just need to put the boys first, and I hope on his end he's able to do that eventually.
Does he have feelings about the show?
Yeah, I think he'll make little sly comments here and there that are always kind of like digs. I don't know if it stems from jealousy that like I'm very successful, or if it just stems from he doesn't like me airing things out or embarrassed of it. I know that there's definitely some things that I share that are a little bit out there, like me sharing orgasm stories and things like that. But I think
people can relate to
that's
it.
The thing. I've gotten so many DMs of women DMing me saying like, I relate to this. Thank you for sharing this. And like me going to like my mental health journey and future seasons and things like that. I feel like there's so much good that comes from the show. And yes, I'm on a reality TV show. And yes, it can be a little raunchy. And yes, there's moments that we're twerking on stage with Chippendales dancers, but there's so much good too.
Yeah.
That I'm not embarrassed of my work. I'm so damn proud of it. And if he can't see that, then that's on him.
I want to talk about the Mormon church's response.
Yeah.
Are you still in the Mormon church?
No, I would say I'm pretty not active. I'll never go and get my records removed. I feel like that's just like an additional step that I don't necessarily feel like is needed. But no, I don't think that I consider myself Mormon, really.
I've seen in interviews people say like, oh, the Mormon church has had some pretty negative things to say, but I don't know like what it is that they have said. Do you?
So they released an article, I think right after our trailer came out, and I think they said, quote unquote, like there's gross misrepresentations of the church that like aren't true or something like that. And I think it's hard because nowhere once did any of us girls say that we're trying to represent the church. I think that we are showing that you can be at different levels within your faith, and that's okay. And you can make mistakes and you can mess up as a human being, but if you still want to associate yourself as a Mormon, then like you should be able to do that. And I think it's really refreshing because I feel like there's so many people that are kind of in that gray zone when it comes to religion, because it's so hard. Being fully into religion is a very hard thing, especially in this day and age. So I think that's what we were just trying to show, is that like, yeah, you can be at different levels. It's not linear, and that's like fine. And I think that they thought that we were just saying like, this is what Mormons are. Right. And we're not saying that. We're like, this is what this individual Mormon is.
Yeah, this is being a human, having a human experience, and also having a longing to have a faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you. I feel like, you know, it's the cookie cutter image that actually turns people away from any religion, you know, thinking that you have to obtain these, you know, moral standards. Like, we're human beings. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. And I love that about your guys' show too, because like, I'm like, oh, I'm Christian, but I'm like, oh, like you don't have to be perfect all the time, and that's okay.
Yeah. I think if anything, that's what we're taught in religion, is that you're supposed to mess up and Jesus is supposed to still love you.
Right.
And like, I feel like that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is that like, just be a good person.
Yeah.
I think that's all that matters. That's what we're genuinely taught, is just to be kind to your neighbor.
So did their response hurt you, or did you just...
No, I don't care. I think I've been in this like world for so long with social media before the show even came out, that like you're gonna have so many people that love you, but then you're gonna have so many people that hate you, and you kind of have to drown out both of them. I think that we know what our intentions are with this show.
Yeah.
And if people want to say that we're clout chasing by using the word Mormon, I feel like those are the people that are just overly protective over the church, which I get it. But I think if you to your core are firm in your beliefs, then you shouldn't have to worry about anyone rocking your stance.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what a lot of Mormons need to be better at, is just because someone does it a little bit differently than you doesn't take away from your experience.
Exactly. What are you looking for in your next year?
I think I'm not looking for a relationship anytime soon.
Really?
Nothing?
No. Not even the blue check marks, huh?
No, I think I want to really heal fully from my marriage and heal now from this past relationship and try to find myself truly and who I am. I just feel like you can't truly give your all to somebody if you aren't healed entirely and you can't show up for who you are. And I just feel like I just need to take time myself. I feel like this experience too, I just don't have time, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if I were to try to squeeze a date in anytime soon, it probably wouldn't even be till the next like month. So I just don't have time on my schedule to even see anyone. And yeah, spending time with my kids, I feel like just being a mom is always going to be my number one priority. And then just having more fun in this experience. I feel like this is just such a surreal thing that we get to do every day. And I'm so grateful for this life that we have. So just taking it all in and taking it day by day. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I think I actually said this to Miranda. For you guys that don't know, we briefly met at Hulu's Get Real event. And Miranda was talking about how she was nervous about this season. And I'm like, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like life is way too short to take it so seriously. Yeah. You guys have such a great opportunity in your hands. You know, I mean, who gets a TV show? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys do because you deserve it, but just enjoy the ride.
You're going to have people that hate you even if you do only good.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, just if the people around you know who you are, and you have to remember the people see such a short percentage of your life. Yes, we're filming reality TV, but so much gets cut.
Yeah.
And things get edited the way that they wanted to edit. So you know who you are. These people on the internet don't. So
does that ever bother you? Do you ever like look at a scene and you're like, well, that's not how that actually went?
That doesn't necessarily bother me because I understand they're trying to make good TV. So if they cut things to kind of make it look certain ways, I think what frustrates me sometimes is when they cut things that have to do with like our personal storylines.
Right.
Like I know Michaela and Macy shared some very vulnerable things season 1, and those unfortunately didn't make the cut. So I think in moments like that, and I did as well, and I think it's hard when you put so much of your heart and your energy into these moments and you're like, this is really gonna help somebody. Like me sharing this is really gonna like change somebody's life, or like it could help one person, and then when it gets cut and it gets cut for something that's like a little bit sillier, I feel like you're just like, oh dang it, like I wish that would have made it. But then that's why I love opportunities like this where I'm able to come on podcasts and kind of share more about me, and hopefully one person listens and one person is, you know, affected by it. So I think that's what you can do outside this experience, is try not to hone in too much on the fact that things get cut because you can't control it.
Yeah. Well, thankfully for you guys, I mean, you had internet fame before you had TV fame. So I feel like your audience is not only tapped in when they're watching, you know, on Hulu, but also on your stories, on your TikToks.
Yeah, exactly.
People are definitely paying attention at all times, which to me is scary, but to you is probably a good thing.
I feel like I'm just so used to it now. I feel like I'm just like always like turned on almost, if that makes sense. That like I'm just like always like, people are always watching. People are very aware. Like I'll unfollow somebody and someone notices on like a gossip account. I'm like, how did you even notice that?
They're checking way
they're
too much.
They're aware. They are aware.
Well, Layla, thank you so much.
You.
Congratulations again on season 2. I can't wait to binge it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it all in one day. So
same. Hopefully, if I can get away from my cameras. But yeah, same.
All right, you guys. Thank you for tuning in live from New York. What a time to be alive. Now that Layla left, we got up and took a picture together. I'm wearing a bodysuit. The back of my bodysuit has been sticking out of my pants all day. No one decided to tell me. So like, you know, it is what it is. We made it through. If you listened to the whole episode and you liked it, please subscribe on YouTube. Leave a little 5-star boop boop, a little love you like a sis, because you know I do. Of course, we'll see you back next week. If you want more Bravo news, subscribe to the Patreon. Bravo Friday popping off. We just did Bachelor Tuesday. All the things. I don't want to leave you hanging ever. So come join the Patreon. If not, I'll see you next week. And as always, love you like a sis, live from New York.